Hey guys, so this is the Smittybilt 2781 air compressor. Great air compressor, but I'm going to show you some modifications that I've done to make this compressor a lot more functional. So this air compressor works on what's called an open system, which involves starting the air compressor. Air will immediately flow through the truck. You start airing up your tire, but then in order to get an accurate pressure reading, you have to shut the compressor off because you can't get an accurate pressure reading while air is flowing. So you have to run back to the compressor each time, check the gauge, and turn the compressor on and off in order to get an accurate reading. So the original hardware that this compressor came with is this blow-through chuck. Quite honestly, it sucks. You can see where I've cut it off here and I put a different air chuck on. Also, this has to be screwed onto your valve stem, so it's a little tedious screwing this on and off of the valve stem each time. The pressure gauge that it comes with looks like this. It's a regular analog gauge. It's fairly inaccurate. So now I'm going to show you the parts that I replaced these with. So what I've replaced it with is a air chuck by a company called Jayco. Easy click on and off. Swivels 360. So far so good. I also opted for a digital pressure gauge. So far so good with it. And then we get to the real beauty of the system. This is called a slide valve. This is used in industrial applications while working on something under pressure. And how this works is you can vent this valve to atmosphere for safety purposes. So again, you're not working under things that are flowing under extreme pressure. And when you set this up, it's important that you set this flow arrow going towards the compressor. So when Smittybilt made this compressor, they fitted it with proprietary fittings. These are called Q-style or Netto-style fittings. And most likely the reason they did that is to keep people from installing hardware that would be used in a closed air system. So I'm going to put a link in the description of all of the hardware that I used to modify this compressor. But essentially, this old gauge unscrews from this T here. This particular gauge is 1/8 size thread. So this digital gauge already came with the 1/8 thread. So simply unscrew this, screwed this one back on. What I did here is you have to cut this hose in two places. So here we go. There's our regular coil hose. Make a cut here and you make a cut here. Now depending on what size slide valve that you purchase will determine what kind of fittings you need. But this slide valve is 3/8 double female. So what I have here is a barb on that end, a barb on that end, and going into the slide valve is regular 3/8 male NPT. So yeah, that's it. Here in a minute I'm going to show you a video of this compressor in action, and I'm going to air down one of these tires probably to about 5 psi and air it back up to 35 and see how long it takes. So be back in just a minute. Alright guys, so I got the Smittybilt compressor set up how you would normally set it up. As you can see here, going to our yellow coil hose. So I have a 35 1250 17 tire. This tire is aired down to 10 psi, and we're going to see how long it takes to get it up to 35, which is what I run my tires at cold. So here we go. Alright, so right now the compressor is in the vent. Excuse me, the valve is in the vent position. So when we flip it this way, air will be flowing through the compressor. So here we go. Again, each time you want to check your tire pressure, you will have to slide this to the vent position, and then you will get an accurate reading. So I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So we're going to vent to atmosphere, and we got 13.2. So we're going to let this run and see how long it takes to get to 35 psi. Alright guys, I stopped it a little late. I think I stopped it around 3 minutes 45 seconds. So 3 minutes 45 seconds to go from 10 psi to 35 psi on a 35 1250 17 tire. Not too bad if you ask me. Of course that was with, you know, checking intermittently and me talking. So if you once you get that ideal time limit of how long it takes, you know, you might even be able to shave that down to 3.5 minutes. So that's how it's done, guys. Alright guys, so I hope this video helped you. In my opinion, these modifications make this compressor a whole lot more functional. Keep in mind there are guys that are adding a pressure switch to these compressors. However, it's a bit more complicated and it will void the warranty of your compressor. I believe that just adding this little slide valve will do the trick for you. One thing worth mentioning is the slide valve that I used in this video is not the Coilhose pneumatic slide valve that I'm going to link you. That slide valve is heavily back ordered. I've tried all different kind of companies to purchase it from, and it's heavily back ordered. So I actually found this slide valve off of eBay by a company called Legris, which I'll put in the description below as well, and it looks almost identical to the Coilhose pneumatic slide valve, and it's about the same price. So again, I'm going to put a link to all the products that I used in this video below. I hope this video helped you. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more great content. Thanks guys.